The soft, rhythmic thud of a tennis ball meeting taut strings echoes across pristine lawns, a sound that for generations has signaled the peak of the British summer. There is a distinct, almost breathless magic that settles over southwest London during these specific fleeting weeks of July, where history is not merely remembered but actively written on the grass of the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club. To understand the pull of this place is to understand a tradition that goes far deeper than sport, drawing the global elite into its quiet, impeccably manicured embrace year after year. On this particular afternoon, the atmosphere around the historic grounds of SW19 feels notably charged, humming with an energy that stretches from the crowded, sun-drenched hillsides of Henman Hill straight into the most exclusive enclosure in all of sports. The morning mist has long burned off, leaving behind a brilliant, clear sky that perfectly frames the historic venue as it prepares for the high-stakes drama of the late-stage championships. For over a century, this tournament has stood as the ultimate intersection of athletic excellence and societal prestige, a theater where the world's finest competitors battle for immortality, while the world's most recognizable figures watch from the shadows of the canopy. As the gates opened early this morning, a palpable sense of anticipation rippled through the gathering crowds, with thousands of eager fans filing past the purple and green hydrangeas, their eyes darting around in search of the famous faces that traditionally grace these hallowed grounds. It is day 12 of the championships, a pivotal moment in the tournament calendar where the field has narrowed, the pressure has reached a boiling point, and every single point carries the weight of history. The air is thick with the scent of freshly cut grass, expensive perfumes, and the classic treat of strawberries and cream, creating a sensory experience that is instantly recognizable to anyone who has ever followed the fortunes of this iconic event. As we look closer at the unfolding spectacle, we invite you to become a permanent part of our growing community by hitting the subscribe button and turning on notifications so you never miss our deep dives into the world's most captivating events. The true allure of this midsummer gathering lies not just in the scorelines or the ferocious serves echoing from the baselines, but in the unique ecosystem that develops within the historic stadium walls, particularly inside the legendary wicker chair-lined sanctuary known as the Royal Box. This exclusive enclosure, which has hosted monarchs, heads of state, and legendary pioneers of industry for decades, acts as a fascinating microcosm of global culture where the strict protocols of high society meet the raw, unscripted emotion of world-class athletic competition. Today, the seating arrangement presents a masterful tapestry of contemporary celebrity, timeless style, and historic lineage, creating an extraordinary tableau that commands just as much attention from the television cameras as the baseline rallies themselves. The whispers circulating through the crowd confirm that this afternoon's guest list is one of the most dazzling of the entire fortnight, blending the grand traditions of British heritage with the sharp, modern edge of international fashion and Hollywood royalty. To see these individuals gathered in one place, dressed in their summer finest, is to witness a living portrait of influence, where casual handshakes between giants of different industries happen seamlessly against the backdrop of a roaring crowd. As the afternoon progresses and the shadows begin to lengthen across the lush green courts, the sense of occasion only deepens, drawing everyone in attendance into a shared experience that feels both intensely modern and deeply rooted in the past. The stage is set, the spectators are settled, and the very air seems to vibrate with the knowledge that we are about to witness something truly extraordinary unfold on the most famous lawn in the world. The quiet hum of conversation within the prestigious Royal Box shifted into a sharp wave of excitement as the afternoon sun hit the court, illuminating an extraordinary gathering of international icon power and cultural influence. Front and center in this exclusive viewing sanctuary sat the absolute titan of the global fashion industry, Dame Anna Wintour, looking effortlessly regal and commanding as she surveyed the pristine lawns of southwest London. For decades, her presence at the championships has been as much of a summer tradition as the tournament itself, and today she sat alongside her longtime close friend and legendary luxury designer Tom Ford, creating an undeniable epicenter of high style. Wintour, who serves as the Global Chief Content Officer at Condé Nast and the legendary Global Editorial Director of Vogue, was seen deep in animated conversation with Ford, whose own multi-million-pound fashion empire transformed the landscape of modern luxury. The two tastemakers seemed entirely in their element, bringing the sharp elegance of the international runway straight to the historic sporting grounds of SW19, accompanied by the acclaimed Australian film director Baz Luhrmann, who added his own flair to this visually stunning trio. Just a few seats away, representing the very pinnacle of contemporary British acting talent, Benedict Cumberbatch looked exceptionally dapper in a perfectly tailored grey summer suit, absorbing the electric atmosphere alongside his wife, the celebrated theater director Sophie Hunter. Cumberbatch, a household name beloved for his brilliant portrayals of complex geniuses ranging from Sherlock Holmes to Doctor Strange, has long been a favorite of the Wimbledon crowds, maintaining a low-key yet deeply polished presence that perfectly mirrors the sophisticated ethos of the All England Club. The star-studded nature of the enclosure was further elevated by the arrival of his former co-star, Martin Freeman, who was greeted warmly with a firm handshake by the famous British-American broadcaster and documentarian Louis Theroux. This casual interaction between two giants of British television captivated nearby spectators, as Theroux, fresh off his groundbreaking documentary work exploring the complexities of modern social movements, shared a light-hearted moment with Freeman, whose celebrated career spans from the dry humor of The Office to major Hollywood blockbusters. Adding a profound layer of emotional depth and human triumph to this sea of celebrity faces were the remarkable Addams brothers, Sian and Jordan, who received a thoroughly deserved invitation to the royal box following an astonishing feat of human endurance. The two young men recently completed a grueling saga of 33 marathons in 33 consecutive days, a journey that began with Jordan running the London Marathon while carrying a 25-kilogram refrigerator on his back. Before the duo raced through all 32 counties to raise urgent awareness for frontotemporal dementia. This deeply personal odyssey was fueled by the loss of their beloved mother, Geraldine, to the devastating genetic condition, and their presence among the global elite served as a powerful reminder of the incredible platform for good that this historic tournament provides. The sporting world was equally well represented by a formidable contingent of athletic legends, including the towering figure of Liverpool Football Club captain Virgil van Dijk, who swapped his traditional red jersey for a sharp, crisp white suit that perfectly matched the afternoon's aesthetic. Sitting comfortably in the royal box with his wife, the world-class Dutch defender, widely celebrated for his composure and leadership on the pitch, took a moment to relax after a demanding summer of international competition, absorbing the unique rhythms of world-class tennis. Not far from the football icon, two of the greatest batsmen to ever play the game of cricket, West Indian legend Brian Lara and Indian sporting icon Sachin Tendulkar, were seen sharing insights and enjoying the cross-sport camaraderie that always defines this special day. Tendulkar, affectionately known to hundreds of millions of fans worldwide as the Master Blaster, holds the immortal record as the all-time leading run scorer in international cricket history, and his annual pilgrimage to southwest London always causes a stir among the sporting enthusiasts in attendance. The rich tapestry of guests also included deep roots within the British establishment, the cultural fabric of the nation, highlighted by the appearance of the Earl of Snowdon, David Armstrong-Jones, who wore dark sunglasses as he looked on from the prestigious front rows. As the son of the late Princess Margaret and the first cousin of King Charles III, the Earl represents a direct link to the heart of the British monarchy, though he has also carved out a highly successful career as a master cabinet maker and respected designer, with insiders frequently crediting him with influencing the contemporary style choices of the royal household. Standing nearby was the elegant Birgit, Duchess of Gloucester, a deeply dedicated tennis enthusiast who has served with distinction as the honorary president of the Lawn Tennis Association for over a quarter of a century. Her long-standing devotion to the sport and her 5 decades of quiet, steadfast public service alongside her husband, Prince Richard, have made her a beloved staple of the Summer Championships, embodying the timeless grace and duty that the royal box was originally created to honor. The media world saw its own share of prominent figures, with the former Director General of the BBC, Tim Davie, taking his place among the dignitaries just months after departing his high-profile leadership role at the public broadcaster, where he famously implemented rigorous guidelines regarding professional conduct on social channels. The corporate and administrative backbone of the sport was beautifully framed by the presence of Deborah Jevons, the pioneering chairwoman of the All England Lawn Tennis and Croquet Club, who sat proudly at the helm of the venue where she once competed as a junior champion and ladies singles standout decades ago. Alongside her was the newly appointed president of the Lawn Tennis Association, Roy Kolabawala, who made history earlier this year as the youngest individual to ever hold the prestigious position, signaling a vibrant new chapter for the future of British tennis development. As the afternoon progressed, the crowd's focus began to narrow onto the center court, where fans were eager to watch the dramatic conclusion of a spectacular breakthrough run by a rising British star, creating an unforgettable atmosphere where high society and raw athletic passion became entirely intertwined. The electric atmosphere inside the stadium reached a crescendo as the focus turned completely to the competitive action on the grass. A moment that beautifully combined the rich histories and personal journeys of the distinguished guests watching from above. Among those absorbing the drama was the charismatic British actor Damian Lewis, looking remarkably stylish in a dusky blue linen suit that captured the relaxed yet elegant essence of a British summer. Lewis, whose career has been defined by powerhouse performances in landmark television series such as Homeland and Billions, as well as his critically acclaimed portrayal of Henry VIII in Wolf Hall, was smiling broadly as he enjoyed the matches. Fresh from his recent public appearances in London alongside his partner, the celebrated rock musician Alison Mosshart, his presence added yet another layer of contemporary artistic excellence to the enclosure, where the sheer diversity of talent on display served as a testament to the universal appeal of the championships. Sitting in close proximity was the venerable Prince Michael of Kent, an 83-year-old cousin of the late Queen Elizabeth II, who looked impeccably dapper as he continued his decades-long tradition of supporting British tennis from the front rows of southwest London. Prince Michael, a fluent Russian speaker with deep historical ties to international heritage, was accompanied by the elegant Jemima Goldsmith, daughter of the legendary society regular Annabel Goldsmith, after whom the famous Berkeley Square establishment was named. This sophisticated pair perfectly bridged the gap between modern cultural influence and the grand traditions of the British establishment, especially following Prince Michael's quiet transition into a retired public life alongside his wife, after decades of supporting numerous non-for-profit organizations and charitable trusts. The international sporting flair was further heightened by the inclusion of India's current Test cricket captain, Shubman Gill, who made history by becoming the fourth Indian cricket captain to receive the honor of an invitation to the prestigious Royal Box. At just 26 years old, Gill, affectionately known to his global fan base as the Prince, representing a dramatic rise from his early days hitting boundaries in the Punjab age group system to scoring breathtaking double centuries on the world stage, looked entirely at home among the global elite. He was joined this cultural celebration by the Honourable Julia Gillard, the pioneering former Prime Minister of Australia and current chair of the Wellcome Trust, who brought a distinguished sense of global leadership to the afternoon's proceedings. Gillard, who made history as the first and only woman to serve as both Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister of Australia, has often spoken about how her early Welsh upbringing shaped her worldview, and her presence coincided with a historic moment for Australian tennis as young Cruz Hewitt secured his place in the boys' final. The scientific and military framework of the nation was represented by Sir Patrick Vallance, the former government chief scientific advisor who became a universally recognized household name during the global health crises of recent years, alongside General Dame Sharon Nesmith, the historic vice chief of the defense staff who stands as the highest-ranking female officer in British military history. as the matches drew to a spectacular close, with the crowd rising to salute the incredible efforts of the athletes who poured their hearts onto the historic lawns. The afternoon concluded not just as another day of world-class tennis, but as a masterpiece of human connection, where the paths of actors, royals, defenders, and heroes crossed in a shared celebration of excellence that will resonate through the history of SW19 for generations to come.